What's going on? Welcome everybody to the show. It is the 3rd of September. Oh, sorry, it is the 3rd of September. And we are certainly looking pretty favorable right now in the overall market. Now, as always, remember, given my recent actions on YouTube, it's not financial advice, this channel. It's just a guy talking about crypto on the internet. And you could lose all your freaking money if you're not careful. But it is fair to say that things are looking pretty interesting. Anyway, we're going to get into all of it tonight, as always. If you are brand new to the channel, don't forget I live stream 6 days a week. Also, if you are on TikTok, by the way, let me know because my mic's here. So I just want to make sure that you guys have got the most quality of content and sound that is available. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back in. Lots to get into tonight. Lots to unpack, whether it's regulational stuff, Fed news, Ondo finance, as well as BNB and all the rest of it. And some pretty interesting purchasing going on in the overall crypto market. We got you covered tonight. We're going to take you down and out and through what's going on in the market. Have we officially flipped bullish for the month of September? That's an interesting concept, isn't it? Remember, the only cryptocurrency YouTuber out there that was saying that September might shock everybody. That's right, it was me, and it looks like it's playing out exactly as we expected. Anyway, if you can, just do me a quick favor, the YouTube, head down and find that thumbs up. Likewise on TikTok, tap that screen for me. Just let me know you're there. Say hello in the chat, you know, all that kind of good stuff. We appreciate it. It's always better to be involved. It's always better to have any questions, thoughts, opinions, views on anything in between. We'll try and answer the bbest we can. To keep you moving and always keep you grooving in this market. So let's say hello to a few people. Don't forget as well, I am live with none other than cryptonews at 5:30 Eastern. That's an hour and a half from now. We're back live on TikTok as well with guests. So that's going to be exciting as well. Right, let's get into it. Magic Craig, what's going on? Tim's here. JFR in the building. What's going on? Kevin, any XRP ETF news yet? Not yet, brother. We're keeping close to it, though. Crypto Princess, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Such an eloquent individual. Love it. What's going on? Welcome to you, as always. Appreciate you being here. 37, Brandon, what's going on? Tomato Pete, Beebs, Obi Joe, the legend that is Swamp, CJ, Cracker Jack, 7, Paul, Tubi, what's up? What's going on, brother? Welcome to you. Cool Cat's in the house. What's going on, Cool Cat? Been a minute. Good to see you, buddy. Sean, good to see you. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome, Robert Dover, as well. Feel like you've been barraging me with chats today, but I love it, Robert. We're going to take a look at Shiba Inu just for you, so welcome to you. And then welcome to the Familia Madrigal over here as well. Ardon's in the building. Ollie Holmes. Kira Cathy, love your content. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Ollie Holmes in the building. Carolina Cachet, welcome. Clear that Cachet, baby. JJN3, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. Antos here. Hissy, welcome, 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 everybody. It's always good to have you guys in here with me this evening. Right. First things first, as always, make sure that I do not mirror this so you guys get to see this. Bullish! Hey, I tell you what, I'm getting this whole live streaming stuff sorted. Shane's in the house. What's going on, Shane? We're finally getting this live streamy stuff going. Anyway, 2-bit fresh cut, bro. Oh, mate, this was like 3 days ago. What the hell have you been? That's been jumping in the channel for the last 2 days. Anyway, good to see you, buddy, as always. So, yeah, always good news. But TikTok, you go that way. We're going to take a look at the charts. And we're going to sort of get into it. Look at this. Very, very interesting little move here. The breakout has officially happened here on BTC. We talked about this yesterday. This is on the 12-hour chart. Should we confirm the breakout? Maybe it's a little bit early just yet. However, it's starting to play out very interesting. Where do I think confirmation comes? Around 112,890, which would be the 20-day exponential moving average, which is the big yellow line here coming through. This, for me, is the key level. This is the key level, sorry, the 50-day exponential moving average. I need to make that bigger. I need to make the 20-day bigger. It's annoying that I can't see it properly. Okay, that's not what I need. Global liquidity is not what I need. This one is what I need. Let's change this. We need to change this line to blue. Let's do it to blue and let's... does it need to be a bit bigger? Oh, there we go. That's exactly what we need. Right. It's still terrible. I can't really see it, but whatever. It's fine. So, yeah. Do we need to go like a bit more limey green? Welcome to the show, everybody. Right. So this is the 50-day EMA. That's what we need to look to break. This could be a very interesting both resistance line and equally could be a confirmational break from this downward pattern. Now, the things to reference here, we do have a break back above. So as you can see here, we didn't cross the line. We didn't have a bearish divergence here on the EMA. We actually bounced off. What's more important, look at my indicator here, now starting to show bullish sentiment. Likewise, we're still not fully there. So when people say, oh, well, I can't believe you're not going to say it, that we are. We just are getting back up. Once we're back above this 148 line, then yeah, let's get it, baby. We could be seeing some nice little movement here on the chart. But you could absolutely argue that we've now had a consistent, this is a 12-hour chart, by the way. If you go into the daily, it looks pretty bullish as well. 3 solid days in the green. A rejection here on the daily, though. Be mindful, 20-day EMA. We need to see it push a little bit further. We're still slightly bearish here on the daily, as well you can see here. So we need to be above 50 on the daily. So 12-hour looks bullish. All right, good news. 4-hour also looks very favorable in a bullish sentiment, albeit the last couple of hours have been a pretty dark and dingy place. But the 12-hour is the next big one. The daily is obviously getting there as well. But what's really positive about today on this breakout is that we actually have seen a number of altcoins starting to rally again. So great that ETH broke back above this support line. That's very bullish, by the way. Look at this. Ticked up here on this one that we are looking at. So for me, ETH is showing some really good strength, and I really like this breakout potentially on Ethereum. Unless we get some sort of crazy macro news, I think we're probably going to be okay. Solana doing exactly the same, breaking up now, which is good. And then likewise, a couple of other coins breaking out. 𝗥𝗲𝗿𝗁, albeit had a way bigger break than it was at. 4.3 rejected there on the 20-day EMA. Aerodrome's at 4.8. Once again, these key 20-day EMAs are going to be critical as we walk through it. Rest of the altcoin market, having a pretty decent ride, unless you are invested in WLFI Finance. If you are, then yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's working out for you right now, but I could probably guess. This, in my opinion, we talked about this yesterday, quite extensively actually. I think this is going lower. I can't help but think this is going below 20 cents. I actually uploaded a video talking about some of the infrastructure that sits behind this, what the macro is on it. If you want to go and check that out, definitely go and do it. Not many people are watching it, so I would appreciate it. Obviously, given everything that happened over the last couple of days, I would really appreciate you hitting a thumbs up and dropping a comment on that video. That would be great if you could, because it's definitely been suppressed on views. Just my opinion. Again, I'm not saying that that's the case, but, you know, I've had a video do 2,000 views, and then all of a sudden we get a community one, and then it gets 200 views. You know what I mean? Come on. Anyway, WLFI Finance, watch out. Again, I think this is going a bit lower. I may take a position up in this one if it was to drop to, say, 19.5. And sentiment felt positive. I may take a position up in this. I'll obviously let you guys know. And then the rest of the alts are looking okay. Do you know what I mean? Say looking like a nice little move. Again, you got Injective, Fetch AI finally doing something, albeit not a lot. The meme coin space doing okay as well. Bonk at 0.39, Pepe at 1.43, and Doge having a decent run. Now, Shiba Inu, again, looking like it's a pretty interesting little setup here on the chart. What I would be mindful of here on SHIB, it is still in a very much a downtrend. It has just about broken it and also got rejected at the 50-day EMA. So watch out on SHIB, in my opinion. I wouldn't be, you know, going all in on this just yet. You can see here the 236 Fibonacci at 1,261 is what we need to break to give it a bullish movement to the upside. So I would sit tight and see what happens. Just my opinion. None of this is ever financial advice, just my thoughts on it. Rest of the market's looking decent. Do you know what else is good? Look at this. Look at this, bro. Look at this massive Dumperino candle, everybody. Bullish. And if you're not sure what this is the 30-year government-backed bonds, which again hit an all-time high nearly today. Got wrecked after 5%, down 1% on the 10-year. 2-year, get the hell out of here. 3 months down 1.2, and even more bullish than that, the 1 month Treasury by the US down 1.18%. Give me a thumbs up for Treasury's dumping. That's good news, by the way. Also, if you haven't already seen, the Treasury actually bought back over $2 billion of their own debt today, which is also pretty insane as well. But anyway, that's great news, Robert Dover. We want to see Treasuries continuing to push down. This is good for risk assets as we head potentially on for those JP Powell rate cuts coming in September, which could be pretty interesting. So overall, you would argue a pretty bullish day in the markets. Great. All right. We want that over the course of maybe the last couple of days. What's more important, though, is we have then seen some pretty interesting purchasing. So someone just bought $77 million worth of Bitcoin. That was earlier on today. That was about 4 hours ago. Again, Galaxy Digital being the liquidity provider on that one. Good news. Also, worth noting here that when we come to ETFs, we saw a nice little inflow of $332 million yesterday. Great news. Nice little green candle. And guess what, everybody? They're back. They're back. BlackRock buying over 658 Bitcoin, as long as Fidelity as well. ARK21 bought loads yesterday, dumped a little bit today, no surprise. I think they're messing around with Summit. And VanEck coming in with 860, the biggest buy of those today. So again, institutional buy-in is on its way back to Bitcoin. This is good news. Ethereum, though, is definitely not yet out of the spotlight. $5 billion Bitcoin whale just bought $1.1 billion of Ethereum and staked the freaking lot. Bits Blaze, what's going on, buddy? literally went, okay, I'm just going to buy $1.1 billion worth of Ethereum. Boom! Put it all into the staking pool, and I'm going to enjoy those returns on that. It's a pretty big deal. Classic example of smart money positioning ahead of a macro-driven rally. The 5 billion Bitcoin whale moving $1.1 billion into Ethereum and immediately staking it shows institutional conviction. Staking locks up the supply, reducing circulating ETH, which can create upward pressure. Important to think about. Massive amount of Ethereum being staked, and albeit there is over 1 million Ethereum to be unstaked or is in the process of being unstaked, at the minute it feels like the ratio of staked to unstaked and lots of staked and staked is pretty stakey. It feels like there's a lot going that way. So again, this is a pretty bullish statement. And once again, massive amounts of Ethereum. You can see here, look, this is the BTC OG BTC to ETH with his 5.8 billion. Holding up pretty well and now accumulating Ethereum like a lunatic. So good news if you ask me. Good news if you ask me. We'll see what that goes to. And I think certainly a more positive sentiment. Right, look at this. Also pretty big news today. Tariff revenues for 2025 currently sitting at $31 billion in tariff revenue in August, the highest monthly total this year. It's a pretty big number. That is a pretty big number and is increasing. Now, the reality here is at some point this will plateau. And I guess what they want to see is this start to filter through in some of the macros. What's going on, Devo? Good to see you, man. Callum's in the building. Fed rate's at 98%. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it? We want to see this probably play out into a little bit more of a macro support, i.e. you start to see way bigger growth. By the way, Scott Besson and a couple of others were predicting 3% incremental GDP, which is pretty fucking crazy if you ask me. Now, allegedly, Trump was talking about 5.1% GDP growth, which is also like a ridiculous number. But if they can flip 3% GDP on September, that would be pretty insane. That would be 2 consecutive months at 3% GDP. I think it's 3.1 actually in July. August data we're going to get very soon. So yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, if they're absolutely sending it big time, holy crap, like this could be pretty interesting as this kind of filters through and more importantly plays into bigger and bigger events. Good, right? That's going to continue. The only caveat, and it is important that we kind of keep an eye on this, the macro sentiment still around tariffs is I don't particularly think people like it. And I think businesses in particular don't feel that great about it. Hopefully they can get to some sort of resolution. Hopefully we don't see any sort of crazy knee-jerk tariff nonsense and we should be okay. But at the same time, I kind of feel like the market's just a bit like, who cares now? But again, pretty big news. 31 billion that has gone into there. So yeah. Also, the Winklevoss brothers backed the new Bitcoin treasury company, Treasury BV. They bought 1,000 Bitcoin. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. There is an official Chinese Bitcoin treasury company here as well, which is pretty freaking crazy. If you think about that, the Chinese officially are getting into the market. And we said, didn't we? We said it would only be a matter of time before they came in. Now, we've seen other companies, kind of getting involved. But yeah, HK Asia becomes the first Chinese company to adopt Bitcoin treasury. Pretty interesting as well. You also have Linekong Interactive Group. They also have invested into Bitcoin for their treasury company as well. China's officially in the market, baby. China is officially in the market, albeit I think it's kind of going through Hong Kong a little bit. But there you go. Look, you can see some of the companies now that are all starting to buy Bitcoin, and they are Chinese traded Bitcoin companies. Pretty interesting if you think about that. So this is the way you kind of get into this world of, when all these people still say the bull run's over, and you sort of look at some sort of macro and you're like, it feels difficult to really buy that. I'm just being dead honest. It feels very difficult to buy it, but again, good news here for a lot of those treasury companies, and they continue to be very, very strong, which is good news. And then, like we said, finally, 2.5 billion Rumble just confirmed that they will be buying Bitcoin by using their own wallet, and they're going to basically open up the ability for users of their platform to buy Bitcoin, and they're going to launch a wallet for it. That's pretty crazy as well. That is pretty crazy as well. So feels like a pretty interesting week. What's going on, Crowan? What's going on, buddy? Welcome to your BitsPlays, Devo. BitsPlays, is it true that BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund is going to invest 10 billion into what? Into crypto markets? I'm not sure. But yeah, either way, it's all starting to come and get pretty crazy. Chipper says, going to be appealed through Supreme Court. On the Trump thing. Yeah, I heard he was going to appeal those. ETH, the most hated rally in XRP, the most hated rally incoming. Yeah. I saw something today that was like, it is the most frustrating and boring cryptocurrency bull market in the history of cryptocurrency. I probably would agree with him. I probably would agree with him. That ruling will probably be overturned in the appeals court tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't, if I'm honest. But, you know, anyway, I mean, who the hell knows what's going on? Who knows what's going on? I mean, this is so dry and boring. Good to have you here, Justin, as always, bringing real value to the community. I think you've changed, bro. I don't know what's up with you nowadays. Tim, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to you. And Cool Cat Coding in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. XRP is one of them. I haven't seen anything about BlackRock putting $10 billion into BlackRock. OUSG, which is part of the bigger move, which is all part of this, which is what we need to talk about now, which is Ondo Finance. That is obviously on Ethereum, etc. And yeah, that could be pretty interesting. Yes, Craig. Yeah, Jan, I think, is joining us on TikTok a little bit later on, so that should be pretty good as well. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Ondo didn't get over $1 today. Yeah, I thought Ondo would have got a nice little move today. I mean, it did all right. Did all right. 95 up 1.12. Had a little bit of a further wick. I think it's one of those, isn't it, where people don't really get what's going on with Ondo Finance. I think people are a little bit naive to kind of how it's all playing out. But yeah, Bag Chase is in the building. What's going on, buddy? Welcome. Welcome. But yeah, Ondo launched global markets with tokenized versions of 100 US stocks and ETFs, driving strong industry support and trading activity. Let's get it. I'm all about that. And yeah, the Ondo token saw a 33% surge in volume as some RWAs reached 70 million in trades within hours of the platform's debut. Like, that's pretty good news. And maybe this is just a bit more longer term. And yeah, here's the big kicker though. Despite success abroad, Ondo remains inaccessible in the US, limiting its potential impact on traditional financial markets. That's why you aren't seeing like some insanity in terms of Ondo Finance, because the US for some reason don't like it. Don't know why, but this is good news. I still think Ondo Finance will be very, very good. I really do. Don't forget, a lot of it is built on Ethereum as well. XRP is the most manipulated thing out there. Calamari, what's going on? I'm going to lock into it. Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT. Let's see what it says. Apparently, it's XRP link H pound XVM. Interesting. I don't know, mate, to be honest, but we can definitely try and find out. Ondo, my second biggest bag. Whoop, whoop. What's going on, Curtis? What's going on? I've got 25 Polygon tokens, millionaire soon. Let's get it to Mark Pete. Bullish on that. So as part of the diverse business strategy, Ondo announced that it would offer 100 plus tokenized stocks earlier this week. RWA firm claimed the Ondo global markets would bring a huge array of US stocks onto the blockchain. The big one we want to see is US treasuries. That's what you want to see, because that's where you get into sort of crazy land where Wall Street and probably foreign nations, etc. What's going on, Selma? Could get into US treasuries through the blockchain, through Ondo Finance. Then the debate is, how do you make the actual token itself work? That could be pretty crazy. But yeah, Ondo Global Markets is now officially live. One to definitely keep your eyes peeled on. And yeah, I'm pretty optimistic as to where Ondo is going to go. What you've got here as well on the charts, by the way, just to give you a bit of a view, is very interesting setup right now. Lots of the key indicators on Ondo are just about to flip bullish, and this is good news. Again, we're looking for this above the 50 line, which looks like it's about 51 right now. So again, keep an eye on that break to the upside, because I think, look, Ondo Finance could be getting to a good place. Shame we didn't get that breakout that we thought. However, watch out maybe the next couple of days as it sort of starts to filter out this thing. TikTok, move over here. Let's go Fairground. What's going on, Fairground? Bringing the, you're getting a nice little side profile view here on TikTok. Chilies. You can take the man out of YouTube, but you can't take the chilies out of the man. Anyway, good to see you, man. As always. Mr. Holmes, the legend himself. When I grow up, I want to be just like you. Massive legend. Respect. Where is he? Where is Mr. Holmes? I think I've seen him anyway. Big Al in the building. There you are, look. Ondo to $100. Let's hope so. Let us hope so. But yeah, Ondo looking like it might have a nice little breakout. Again, where does it look on the 12-hour? Starting to look favorable. This is going to be a key thing. The 20-day exponential moving average, the big green line, crossing over that one, crossing over the 200 exponential moving average could absolutely signal that we are going to start to go up. I do think it will depend on markets tomorrow. I do think we'll have to see as the macro kind of plays out. But overall, I still think we're in a pretty solid place. We don't have a lot of data that's going to start flowing through tomorrow, just FYI. It's a pretty quiet day. The best you've got, jobless claims, a 4-week average, import and exports, I think we touched on a little bit. What does that look like? Outside of that, it's pretty boring tomorrow. Job data came in all right today. I don't think it was super crazy, but it was all right. And then Friday, again, not really a lot going on. Then we get into the kind of spicy stuff. That's next week, Wednesday the 10th for PPI and Thursday the 11th for CPI. So yeah, pretty interesting as that plays through. But yeah, good news. Anyway, keep an eye on Ondo Finance. Federal Reserve, including stablecoins and DeFi in the October conference on payments innovation. This could be a pretty interesting one. The Federal Reserve Board announced September 3rd it will host a payments innovation conference on October 21st where it will discuss stablecoins, DeFi, and tokenization. Again, this could be good news. So, yeah. Well, look, Fed rate cuts now coming in very optimistic. Like I said, if you didn't catch my video that I put out, I talked about kind of rate cuts. And for some of you, and I know you're already going to start roasting me in the chat, I talked about the potential of the 2026 bull market. All right? I did it. I analyzed it. I looked at the data. I went into past histories. I looked at previous bull markets. I took statements and samples from all of the top cryptocurrencies to really come to a conclusion that I still think it finishes in 2025. But it could go to 2026, all right? It could go to 2026. I wouldn't be shocked. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't be shocked if it went to 2026. I still don't believe it will, but I wouldn't be shocked if it did. But yeah, there you go. Look, 95.6% rate cuts in September. Pretty bullish. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁𝗵𝗵𝗀 come out, one of the Federal Reserve Board members today, saying, yeah, we should absolutely start to see rate cuts, which again would be pretty bullish indeed. Dice, welcome. What do we have a lot of October ETFs have? It depends. If you're talking about like XRP ETFs, the rumor mill, and certainly what you've got, the Canary Wharf CEO, is that there is like billions of dollars on the sidelines waiting to come into all those ETFs. If you take Bitcoin ETFs as an example, then yes, that was exactly what happened. Ethereum ETFs were a little bit lame. They were like 48 million that came in on the first day of trading, but you'd argue there was a lot of money. Jesse, what's going on, pal? Welcome to you. Good to see you, man. But yeah, I think in terms of XRP ETFs, it'd be interesting. We know that capital sits on the side when it comes to XRP. We've seen it before when we got the fake announcement of an ETF. Huge amounts of capital came in. The SEC dropping the case against XRP. Massive amounts of capital coming into the market. So definitely a possibility for some pretty bullish sentiment. Depends if the market's like a disaster, then now it'll happen. But yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens with that one. But yeah, anyway, definitely go and look at it. When you start to think about where could we get to, how does it play out, and could market structures truly then go into 2026? Maybe. This is the big indicator, by the way, and I would recommend going and watching that video. I actually put a bit, good bit of time into researching this and kind of trying to get into it. If you sort of take this as the 30-year treasury, by the way, and you can sort of play it out relatively favorably. Look at 2021. Generally speaking, lower yields means higher pricing and risk assets. Higher yields generally means lower pricing risk assets. Here was the 2021 bull market. As you can see there, rates were pretty low. And then obviously we come up to where we are right now. Here's the difference and why it may well go into 2026 is that you still have high yields and high treasury bonds, which means people will be reluctant to go into risk assets. They may be more tempted to keep in here, which is why I was saying actually to see a 1% decline in these is great because it means that the markets are starting to be accepting of a little bit more risk, which again is good news as well. So we need to keep an eye on these definitely, these bonds and treasury yields at the bottom, because this is going to be important. The Federal Reserve balance sheet will be another one to keep your eyes peeled on as well. So definitely. July 2026, I called it. Fairgrounds bullish on 2026. Jemboy says, love your content on the tube. Amen. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Tube, how confident are you in your thesis? Willing to take a bet on it? What? That it finishes in 2025? I mean, I'm technically still waiting for the last better one, but you know. Just why are you so obsessed with gambling, you lot? Get out of here. I heard Scott Bessent is interviewing new Fed chair application on Friday. I heard that Scott Bessent was very bullish on the markets as well. The trouble is, it's like taking a bet on where do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to go. Really, you don't honestly know. You can only hypothesize as to where it's going to go. But yeah. Can I propose a bet if you are confident in your thesis of what it finishes in 2025? That my thesis still is that it finishes in 2025. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. What's your opinion on Cosmos? Future or not? Good yield for staking. Good yield for staking. Dave, thank you so much. But is there a future for Atom? I mean, I think so. The IBC is a big deal over there, but the trouble is, it's not the sexiest of chains in the world, is it? It's not the sexiest of chains in the world. It's just there. It'll probably do good stuff. Look, if it gets something like bullish like Chainlink, then yeah, it probably is going to be all right. But yeah, how long do bear markets typically last for? About 18 months. Then you start seeing an uptrend. But yeah, I mean, who knows though? Let's just be clear about that. Who knows? So we'll see. Right, let's keep an eye on what's going on with BTC. I prefer it on the 12 hours, so we'll keep an eye on that just so I can see what the price is. And yeah, Again, this could be good news. Right. You generally think the market is all over in 7 to 8 weeks. Al, you are so bad at the months. So bad at the months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Puts us at the 22nd of October. I mean, maybe. I mean, I've always said the end of October. I did say that it could go into November first week, maybe, but yeah, I mean, maybe I changed my hypothesis, but I still think 2025. I still think 2025. I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest. To be honest. Jiro says Blue Morty on base. I think it's done, mate. I haven't spoke to the dev team. They really cocked that launch up, if I'm honest. I haven't checked it. Remind me when we get to the DeFi section. But yeah, they really that launch up, if I'm honest. It did all right. Came out the gate, actually pumped a little bit, and then they completely cocked the launch up. So yeah, I haven't actually looked at it, to be totally damn honest with you. So we'll take a look at the DeFi section. Remind me, and we'll have a look at it. Okay, 8 weeks. Then you're saying we're entering a bear market in 8 weeks. No. You're twisting my words, Alan. You are twisting my words. It's not Alan either, is it? But yeah, I am not saying that, because it doesn't. You don't go from bull market to bear market, do you? That's not how life works. But I am saying that maybe the top could be in the next 8 to 10 weeks. Maybe. I don't know who Alan is, all right? I don't know who Alan is, and I don't know why I called you Alan, but maybe the top could be in 8, 10 weeks. We'll have to wait and see, all right? Fairground, you legend. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. And then we'll probably have some chop and a bit of froth and all the rest of it, and then, you know, let's see what 2026. However, my point would be, I wouldn't be surprised if 2026 doesn't happen. This is going to be the big one to keep an eye out on, those 30-year treasury yields, etc. We'll see what happens. So, good. Right. Solana. Good news. Solana outperforms Bitcoin, possibly poised for a further breakout. Could it even be fueled by $2.6 billion demand for crypto vehicles in the next month? This could be good news as well. Solana actually surging 33% since early August, and actually has been one of the top performing crypto assets out there, especially if you're staking it as well. It's even better. Sol could replicate Ether's 200% rally to a $2.6 billion in treasury inflows, and ETF decisions loom if we get them. Now, as we're debating 2025, 2026, which I don't think is a bad discussion to have, by the way, if we got ETFs later in the year, let's say, for example, they don't do anything with ETFs in October, right? And then let's say the middle of November, we get Solana ETFs, AVAX ETFs, XRP ETFs. The reality is the market top's probably not going to be in. Let's just be dead honest, right? Let's just call it as it is. If we don't, that's where I think you start to lose momentum in the market. Just my opinion, right? Just my opinion. So I'm going to sit by, and by the way, and I've always said this, by the way, I wish and hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But depending on where we are in terms of price, you know, if BTC's at like 150K in 8 weeks, what would my strategy be at that point? I would be starting to de-risk 100%. I'd be starting to say, right, okay, well, as long as altcoins have moved, what is my options here? I'm going to start to take some stuff off the table, and I don't think that would be a bad decision. Again, you are entitled to do what you want. It's your money. It's your investments. I'm only just giving you a view of what I'd be doing, but I would probably start de-risking. 150 is 35% in 10 weeks. That's 3.5% a week. It's what, 0.34% gain every single day. It's not crazy. Now, 2026 could be pretty wild, but yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow's season, my YouTube channel will be called On the Fence with Pete. Oh dear. I wonder what AL stands for now. Yeah, so am I. The reason I asked about SHIB is because Chainlink Finance just adopted SHIB for cross-chain lending. Nice. I saw something else with SHIB as well, but I can't remember what it was. I was a bit like, oh my God, like, that's wild. Non-committal answer or what? Come on, Al, you know. You got to be careful in this game. It's got to be careful. Andy Box says, anything too big? The bear market is coming. What's your lowest price on XRP on the bottom? Man, Andy Box, Jesus, I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know. Where would XRP retrace to? I mean, you're probably going to argue, does it ever come back down here? I don't think so. I mean, the lower end of the range is 162. I think it depends on how high you go. If this goes to $10, you know, are you going to really come back to 162? Don't know. You have to speak faster. Flow crypto. So many people tell me that. Right, I'm going to try and slow it down. Will Sol retrace before it goes? I think you have to look at the macro right now. Do I really talk too fast, by the way? Is it annoying? Not that I want personal feedback on me, but on myself, but do you honestly think I talk too fast? What's going on, Vern? Good to see you, man. Devo says no. Biscapen says, no, you're good. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yo, what's going on, Vern? The Clarity Act framework target in late September. Genius Act, October 17th deadline. Maybe the SEC is waiting for that to come into effect before ETF approvals. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. That would be pretty good. That would be pretty good. Yeah, I don't think XRP ever goes below $2. Nice, hopefully. You've been faking that Yorkshire accent for far too long. I'm actually Scottish. Oh, dear. What's the macros on Solana? ETFs, baby. ETFs, baby. That's what it's all about. Thanks, Ben. Look out for that. Sound like a horse race commentator? Cheers, Gonzalo. Do you remember when I used to do that? Thank you so much, man. Just crushing it. Coming in, Vern, hot. Like your style, bro. Like your style. BTC breaks 113,500 or back to 100K. I mean, I would only sit where I sit right now, which is we're probably a couple of days away from confirming that this is a breakout on BTC, which would, in my opinion, then invalidate pretty much everyone else on YouTube and TikTok that have said September is going to be bearish. We're going to freaking zero. It's all a bit of a disaster. I genuinely think I was one of the only people that was saying, maybe we get a slightly different look of September. Now, I've talked about the fact that I think September was in a bit of a U-pattern. Look at this, 3.3. So I actually think we've got a bit more to come in September, personally. And if this plays out how I expect it to, I would think September to be around an 8 or 9% gain, which gives us about 4% from where our current rate is. Well, what does that look like? Well, let's take a quick look. Where does 4% leave us at the end of September? Gets us to roughly 116, 117. Do we think that's reasonable? My opinion. But it's not a great entry now. I personally, well, look, we're in an uptrend right now. You don't want to buy green. You want to buy red. You want to buy the bottom. Now, if the bottom was 108, which is possible, I mean, people still think we're going lower than that, but the best way to mitigate how you buy in and sell off in terms of assets is to always ladder in. Find, I always say this example. If you've got $1,000 to invest in anything, really, do it in $250 increments. You just de-risk that potential rather than going, right, I'm just going to buy 1,000 in. And if you think of yourself, let's say you've bought cryptocurrencies before, if you get into this place of every time I buy, the price goes down, I'm annoyed. That means you're buying wrong, in my opinion. That means you are literally clicking the buy button on your entire amount that you want to invest. Whereas go 250, then set a buy option a little bit lower, then set another buy option a little bit lower than that, then set a little bit lower than that. So for example, if you were looking at BTC right now at 112.1, well, you'd want to set one at the 200 EMA, which would be 110.8. I'd go a little bit lower than that as like a bit more of a bearish breakout, which was 109. And then I'd go the bottom, which is 108.336. That'd be how I'd take 4 buys of $1,000 at 250. Again, never financial advice on this channel. That's just my opinion. Everyone is so bearish. Kid goes to show, doesn't it? Madness. You should be printing right now. I mean, that's true. I believe the last 2 Septembers have been bullish. They have indeed. 3.5% and 7%. 2-bit was a public announcement guy in supermarkets. He can do a great impression of that. Come and get your black bin bags. They're on sale till November. I sold 130 sol at 190 because I thought September would be red. Everyone was saying September was going to be red. And this is the problem, though, when people just follow everyone else. This is the great thing about this community, by the way, because you kept honest and you kept on it. And I think it's important. Don't forget the another emergency test alert on the 7th of September. That is true. Tomato Pete. So, yeah, keep an eye out for this one. And I think we'll see how BTC plays. I do think the end of the week is probably going to be a indicator. But, yeah, keep your eye on. And then, finally, look at this. BNB chain surpassing 650 million unique addresses. Binance adoption continues. BNB chain might be something that surprises a lot of people. Now, I don't generally see a lot of kind of launches and a lot of kind of big things happening over on BNB, but it just slowly grinds. It's slowly going up. It consistently seems to just be grinding higher, which is, again, pretty good news. And don't forget, they keep burning it. Binance are doing more stuff with it. So, yeah, definitely not the worst. Definitely not the worst one. I actually took a position in BNB, I think it was a couple of weeks back now. Yeah, good to have it there. Good to have it there, as well as, things like Sui doing pretty well and all the rest of it. So, yeah, good news. What do you think of Chainlink versus AVAX? I mean, I still think AVAX has got a way bigger runway to go yet, personally. But equally, I like Chainlink, and the adoption rate of Chainlink, I think, is better. The difference you've got is, I think Chainlink's a bit techie, a bit geeky, and I think AVAX appeals to a different audience. Therefore, I think when retail finally decides to show up into the market, I think that's where AVAX could outpace Chainlink. But again, you only need to get sort of like, I don't know, let's say something like a big altcoin, AI based or whatever it is, ETF or treasury company, and all of a sudden Chainlink's going to start going crazy. Like Solana, I think is going to be the next big one. We've seen a little bit with XRP, nothing crazy, but I definitely think we're going to see. I definitely think we're going to see some big ones. Yeah, man, the bull run is not over by a little bit. Yeah, 100%, Ben. I agree. I believe in a bloody September. Justin, I mean, well, let's see. Hopefully you're wrong, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And then again, I guess the debate will be, what does October look like? You know, if we got a 20%, I mean, let's say, for example, if we got right now on BTC at 112, let's say we get a 4.5% pump taking us, well, let's say 10%. That would be in line with, you know, 3, 7, and then, you know, 10%. So we need another 6.5% on where we currently sit on BTC. Would take us to a roughly around 120,000. Okay. Then let's say, well, the month of October comes in. I don't need that open. Let's say the month of October comes in, which generally is an average medium of about 20%. Where does 20% take us? From 119. Well, 20% from 119 is probably going to take us pretty freaking high. 144. You know, none of these numbers are crazy, I don't think. But Echo says, I just get in this streaming and BTC and ETH go down now in 2 hours. I mean, if it does, I need to know where you got that information from, because that would be a great opportunity to short the market. But yeah, I would love to know where you've got that thought process from. Yeah, ETH goes down to 4,400. Does it? Why? Why would ETH go down to 4,400? What the hell is 4,400? There's nothing even there. I mean, you could argue maybe it retests 4,422, which would be the 20-day exponential moving average, but I don't see why it does at the minute. I don't see why it does. But we'll see. We'll see. Frost and Snow Fairground bullish. If BTC keeps going up and dominance doesn't go down, doesn't it mean altcoins have to wait? Yes. Whenever BTC dominance goes up, basically means Bitcoin is outperforming the altcoin market. What you want to see is ETH going up, because that will drive the altcoin market along with the total too, which will be good. And then Bitcoin kind of doing its thing and not going super crazy. Bitcoin at 130, and there is going to be a ton of FOMO coming in. Yeah, I mean, you only have to look at what the liquidation rate would look like to get to that number, and it would be pretty wild. Pretty wild. What technical analysis led you to believe September will be red and sell your soul at 190? I would guess, and it is only a guess, that listening to other people, unfortunately. Roast it, baby. What's going on? Do you think Asia will be bullish tonight? I mean, it's such a hard thing to say. Well, we can look at the Asian pre-markets. That might give us an idea as to what they look like. Let's take a look. I don't know. They've been super weird. They were pretty bearish last night, weren't they? The Asian markets last 2 nights have been bearish. The US has been the bullish ones. The US has been the ones going, hey, we're going to get spicy on the market. So let's see. Let's see. Asia, here we go. What do we get? So Asia pre-markets look negative 0.6 on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. The Nikkei looks down about 0.8. The STI at 0.21. So no, thank you. I don't need that for a month. So a little bit bearish. Europe looks like it's going to be bullish and open up well. Hard to judge the US markets, albeit they feel like they might be favorable. What time did we get the tariff surplus news come in? Just out of curiosity. Does anyone know? Because that could be an indicator of where potentially the US market goes tomorrow. If it came in later. Where is it? Markets. So that got to 7 hours ago. Oh, so it must be on market open then. Okay, fine. So yeah, so potentially that's priced in. Again, if you were to get a bullish import amount, that could be pretty crazy, you know, because that would indicate that actually tariffs then would generate a surplus while increasing imports into the market. Like that would be pretty crazy if you ask me, wouldn't it? That would be pretty big news. Forecast 356.4 billion versus a previous of 337.5 billion on imports. So by that sentiment, you could argue and say, well, here, I've got it here so you guys can see it. You could argue and say, well, maybe you would be starting to see more positive moves here in the import market, which would then say, well, tariffs aren't having as big an impact as maybe what people are saying. You've got surplus of $31 billion. You've got increasing in imports, which would be counterintuitive to what people are trying to push the narrative of, is actually imports are down. People are not buying any of this. So yeah, it could be pretty interesting as this kind of works out. And yeah, I guess we wait and see what comes in. Previous at 350, expectation and forecast at 350. Sorry, 356.4 billion versus previous at 337. I mean, that's nearly $20 billion like increase. That could be good news. That could be good news. Because in September, yeah, I mean, they're pretty much dialed in now. It feels like, again, as the market priced in that, difficult to say, really. But yeah. What will happen if Powell gets fired and Trump appoints someone willing to cut 300 points? I mean, insanity in the markets would probably go to zero because everyone would freak out. For two reasons, they'd think there was a massive recession coming, and therefore they would also think that an independent party like the Federal Reserve could be influenced by the President of the United States. It would be a freaking disaster. That's the honest answer. Jerome Powell won't leave. Jerome Powell will do what he needs to do, which he will cut rates in September. You've already got two board members that are saying that they would have cut last time. You've got them publicly saying they should cut. You've now got a new Trump-appointed federal board member, which I'm pretty sure will cut as well. You only need two more to actually cut it. Don't matter if Jerome Powell says no, like there'll be 5-4, they'll cut the rate. So I think September's pretty much guaranteed as a cut. October probably feels like the same. The debate will be how big the cut is. If they came in at 50, yeah, markets might be okay. If it came in any higher than that, I mean, some people are saying 75 basis points maybe on the cards. That would be freaking wild if that came in. Wild. What you want to see is the money printed. That's what the money print is the big one, by the way. That's what we want to see. Your money printer turn on. Good news. That won't happen if the jobs market continues. If the job market weakens, which is showing signs of doing it, we get a jobs report next week. If that's showing signs of weakening, then they may turn the money printer on. However, the economy, and probably this is where the tariffs have a negative effect because they're putting money back into the markets. You go, well, maybe that doesn't quite work out as favorable, but I think he cuts. I'm pretty sure he cuts, in fairness. Just dead quick, let's look at what happens in terms of where people sit. So you can see here, many people believe the price is going to go up. We see higher rates in terms of liquidations. For example, if we were to see the price go down, let's say we dump to 107, you got $1.29 billion of potential long liquidations. That would be pretty painful. Versus upside potential 114,212, which would be a massive move, just under $1 billion. So sort of tells you where we sit, I think. Motivation says, yeah, the prices are in. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. The 7-day forecast again here on Bitcoin exchange liquidation maps. Again, many people believe that we're going up in pricing. See lots of less on the shorts versus the longs. Important to think about how that plays through. I was going to really quickly just bring up the what am I looking for here? Hope if I spell that right. That's what I'm looking for. Got it. Although it is one of the worst charts in the history of charts, I think. Man, this is like super annoying. Okay, there we go. So it's not the greatest of charts. However, this is what we want to see. This is the Federal Reserve assets. So you want to see them continuing to dump assets. This is obviously 2019 into 2020. Everyone knows what happened then. The Federal Reserve asset balance sheet, we need to see this continually coming down. This is going to tell us that they are deleveraging, maybe whatever it is. I'm trying to think what it is. But yeah, and it is coming down, by the way. On the weekly, it's down 0.23, around $15 billion. So good. That's what we want to see. We want to see this Federal Reserve asset balance sheet keep coming down. And I think we can actually see the proper... is it this one? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so similar to what we've just been looking at, by the way. But again, this is the 6-month charts. Look at this. Recent balance sheet trends continuing to come down. So this is from February 27th to August of 26th. Obviously, it runs about a week behind as we've just been looking. But what you can see here is that the actual balance on the Federal Reserve assets is going down. This is good news. Bear in mind, they pay for those assets. That money has to come out of somewhere. So again, another indicator that, you know, the Fed will probably cut rates, but probably not as aggressive as maybe people think. So yeah, worthwhile noting on that one. Good. Biscapan, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Don't forget, join us again. We're live at 5:30 Eastern. That's 10:30 in the UK. We've got another live stream post this. I'll be on with 𝗥𝗲𝗿𝗀 and one of the senior marketing executives, hopefully, from Polygon-Matic, the actual, or what is now known as Matic, the actual cryptocurrency top 50 coins. So hopefully you'll be joining us tonight for a little chin wag as well, which will be great. So do come and join us. We'll be live, like I said. We're here for about another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then we're back on again half an hour later. Want to see a bad chart? Look at, look at Libra coin. Man, look at all those coins. Look at the Kanye coin. I mean, holy crap, that thing's like going to freaking zero. Proper zero. Yeah, not great, if I'm honest. But it is what it is. Right, let's close that, close that, close that, close that. Close that, close that. And yeah, we don't need anything else. So if you guys have got any coins, thoughts, opinions, views, charts you want me to look at, let me know. We'll take a look at those for about the last 15 minutes of the show. We can get into all of that. So, will the market go down when they cut rates? No. The markets should react positively to rate cuts, albeit as long as it's not too big a rate cut. But the market should react more positive to rate cuts, hopefully. Polygon, I promised later too, that didn't deliver. I mean, that's true. Justin, I would definitely recommend coming along. I mean, like I said, they've got a load of stuff going on. But yeah, the price definitely isn't happening right now. My crypto says, have you seen the troll meme chart? It's nuts. I have not, but good news for you. We are here. So let's have a look at it. This one? Is it this one? It's a $193 million market cap. Holy crap. Is this the one that we did? No, it was on Cosmos, I think. Oh my God, that's absolutely insane. Why is it going so crazy? Look at this. It did freaking nothing. And then kaboom, shankalanka. What is that about? Oh my God, that chart's insane. 2 bit views on Dixon Cider. I don't know if I have any views on Dixon Cider. What is it? Is it a band? Oh yeah, it's a band. I've never heard that band before, ever in my entire life. Album, The Sweet Sound of Smush. Who the heck are these? Who are they? I mean, I've never heard of them. Never heard of them in my life. Sometimes you have bad days. Days when you think nothing can bring you up, but if you... Yeah, good. I've no idea who they are. Not a freaking clue. 37. But apparently it's on Apple Music, Amazon Music, and Spotify. It's like the weirdest thing in the world. Anyway. I look at TikTok. I know, Calamari. I'm trying to avoid it. I'm trying to avoid being got, and then you put... Oh man, good. I know. Come on, 2-bit, don't you get it? Yes, I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to act cool so that I don't look like I just got by 37Opera. I'm like, oh yeah, look at this band. Like, I know he got me. I'm trying to avoid the fact that he got me. I want to have the upper advantage. Jesus Christ. Anyway, anyone get into WikiCat on BNB? No. That's brilliant. It's big bold letters across that. Love it. Love it. Anyway. Right, what is it? WikiCat. WikiCat on BNB. Is it this one? No, it can't be this one. Is it all one word? WikiCat. Man, I hate it when I can't find coins. Is it called WikiCat? You sure it's called WikiCat? Such a bad dad joke. Yeah, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? Terrible. But yeah, I didn't see it. Yeah, the pump. Yeah, the troll on pump's crazy. I remember the Cosmos one. I definitely remember the Cosmos one. But yeah, I don't remember. I don't know this one. Oh yeah, you want to look at the Libra chart? Well, they got all their money unlocked recently, didn't they? I'm sure they just dumped everything. Oh yeah, send me the contract. Yeah, is it this one? Libra coin. I mean, it's still got $26 million in liquidity. That is insane. But yeah, I mean, I imagine this is like an absolute disaster. I mean, look at that. Jesus. Awful. Done 410 bucks in volume. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, we looked at this the other day, in fairness. I mean, if AVAX has a run, this has a chance. It feels like, though, it feels a little bit painful. I'm not gonna lie, that definitely feels more challenging. 37, what's going on, pal? Welcome to the chat. So yeah, maybe it makes a move. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I'm carrying along. What's your prediction? Be kind. Do we have Lunk on here? I feel like we had it on here, but maybe not. I mean, I caught a few videos that Believes did. I haven't tracked it much. I mean, do you know the problem with Lunar Classic is that it actually had some potential, and then everybody just started fighting with everybody else. It turned into this weird, like, really hostile place. But I mean, yeah, that looks pretty painful. I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty painful. That's the challenge. I'm not close enough to it anymore. I used to be, but not anymore. I can't be bothered with all the infighting that's all over there. So, but I mean, it looks pretty painful. BNB Frog was another one. BNB Frog. Is it literally called that? Yeah, BNB Frog. Oh, there we are. Look, Frog Inu. Is that right? I mean, it's another one that's done like this is what I never understand. It's like it's done nothing for ages, and then what? All of a sudden, it just goes and skyrockets. I mean, it's got 18 zeros. So, I mean, that's definitely not for me. Did you see the Gainsey chart? Nope. No, I didn't. Why am I always the last to know? Baby, you're the last to know. 0.01 would be nice. Yeah, I think. I mean, it's. I hate to break this to you, but I don't think it breaks 3 zeros. I really don't. I really don't. Never financial advice is always on this channel. It's just a guy talking about cryptocurrency on the internet, but it's certainly a very tall ask to get to that. Very, very, very tall ask to mention it, in my opinion. Yeet the frog. I mean, that's kind of true, Obi Joe, but I mean, they'd have to be a pretty big, like, it'd have to be a pretty big deal. I mean, all of a sudden they just go and spend like 50k on marketing. It's like pretty wild, isn't it? Can you mean if you got 50 BPS rate cut this month? Yeah, I mean, pretty interesting. Devo, thanks, man. Catch you back here, hopefully, in, like 40 minutes, mate. That'd be great, yeah. Fingers crossed, bro. Good to see you as always. Hey, Michelle, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Can you imagine if we got... yeah, I said that, didn't I? Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty interesting. It would definitely be pretty interesting. I think the market would react very volatile. The market would definitely be like, holy crap, why have we done 50 basis points? And then it would probably be like, okay, yeah, I'm cool with 50 basis points. That's fine. But yeah, I would certainly be aligned to Justin in that I think it's 25. And I don't necessarily think it goes much higher than that, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that October can't then print another 25 and we end up with a 1% basis point cut by the end of it. So we'll see. Your fan club has completed the first stage of the fan club quest. Club cheers has been unlocked for all fans to send and celebrate. I don't even know what that means, but hey, sounds like you guys did a good job. Whatever that means. Fan club. Man. Oh yeah, look at that. You get custom badges. Oh, look at that. That's pretty bullish, isn't it? Rewards to unlock. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. Yeah, that's pretty exciting, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. Good. Got any opinions on HBAR, mate? Just joined. Yes, Aaron, I am pretty optimistic. I was talking about this yesterday. Probably looking to try and grab a position in HBAR, to be honest. HBAR, I'm probably going to do something like HBAR, Algorand, XDC, and XLM, and probably like just a little bit of a roll up, maybe go 250 in each. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I do want to try and get a little bit of exposure to HBAR. Lots of good stuff coming with it. Their ecosystem is pretty solid, and I think it's on a little bit of a discount. I think if it doesn't break this 200, though, we might get an opportunity at 20 cents. We'll see. We'll see. It's got to break the 200 EMA, and it is not doing that, which would argue right now, based upon what you're looking at, HBAR is a little bit downtrend. So, you know, definitely could print a little opportunity to get into that one, but we'll see. Justin, see you later, buddy, as always. World Mobile Chain will go live on Kraken tomorrow. WMTX. Nice. Remind me, we'll take a look at it tomorrow night. HBAR at 6 cents, 2-bit. What, you think it's going that low, or you got in at 6 cents? Optimistic for $1? Look, I don't think that's unreasonable. What is it at? 22 cents? 5x? Possibly. I'm looking, got a nice little holding of it. Some nice news lately with Dubai. Yeah, there's some really good news going on with HBAR and Algorand, by the way, as well. So, yeah, I think both are very much optimistic for sure. I think I'm going to get myself a Crow card now on Crypto.com. Nice. Why do you got Gemini and get the Gemini card? I'm waiting for that to come to the UK and I'm going to get one. It's live trading now on MEXC, is it? Nice. What's World Liberty Finance at, by the way? Oh, man, look at that. It's down 6%. 6 freaking percent, baby. Get it under 20 cents. That'd be interesting then. Yeah, I like AVAX as well. Yeah, I do as well. AVAX had a nice little move today. Lots, I think, coming with AVAX. I still am very optimistic. And equally, you know, when you look at AVAX at 25 bucks, it's way down. It hasn't even breached the highs from, you know, like, what, December 2024. And we're meant to be in a bull market. I mean, 55 bucks where it got to. Definitely feels like we've got some more fuel in the tank, more miles to go, in my opinion. I think, look, AVAX for me, a break above sort of 25.69 would be pretty good. Likewise, a little bit high there around 26.32 could signal a rally well above, you know, thought 30 bucks, which would be nice. But yeah, hopefully we get that. But I'm still pretty optimistic about where AVAX is going to go. As I am, by the way, with a number of other coins, everything's just a little bit quiet, which not necessarily a bad thing, by the way. ETH needs to keep working hard. We need to see BTC, you know, not go crazy, but just continue this nice uptrend that we've got at the minute. That's what we need to see. I don't mind a little cool off day before it, you know, push back again, but it'd be nice if we could see that moving. HBAR to a bucks and I'd be happy. Nice, 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁𝗲𝗀. Yeah, what do you think of Say? Like it. Again, another chain that's got loads of developments in the minute. They're integrating with, so they integrated with XRPL, I want to say. They also have done some stuff on DeFi, which I think is pretty good news. And they also have a nice booming ecosystem. Stablecoin market cap, 281 million. They're starting to get some DEX volume at just under 30 million. So, yeah, like, yeah, good news, I think. Say definitely feels like it's got some stuff coming. And, yeah, it's a decent enough chain as well. So, yeah, like Say. And it's at, what's it the price at now? It's up 2.5 at 29 cents. So, yeah, broke above the 200 EMA, retesting the 50-day. And the 20 at the minute. So, you know, definitely could play out into a more favorable move. But yeah, all of those I kind of like. Feel like, yeah, like a big rolled up kind of altcoin bag. Just feel HBAR isn't recognized as much as it should be at the moment. It's so exciting. Now, that's true. I think a lot of people are aware of it, but yeah. Yeah, their NFT. I saw that. I mean, I know him as Classic Crypto, but I think he's got a different name now. But yeah, I saw he minted something on there. Yeah, good. What's your software's trade? Yes, TradingView, yeah. Yeah. You'll never be more bullish than the top commentator here, 37 opposite. I'm red right now, but lots of things happened in the past 2 weeks. Something's coming. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, SNEC. What is SNEC doing? I had that on my watch list, actually, on CoinMarketCap. Is SNEC actually doing anything at the minute? Down 11%. Man, look at the story. Look at that. 37%. If you saw my video talking about all the top altcoins for September, that was in there, by the way. Story was in there. Pretty bullish. Audi. I said Audi was going to have a nice little move. Belladex has been a bit disappointing, but again, that one was a pretty good move as well. SNEC, not so much. Not so much. But yeah, look at that story now. It's $2.5 billion market cap. They're ranked number 45 cryptocurrency. Bullish. Where you see Ondo going this bull run? Yeah, Johnny, I think Ondo's going to do very well. Surprised it didn't move as big as it did today, but yeah, it's definitely on the list of things to make a move, I'm sure. Which would be good. Which will be good. Right, everybody. We are, as always, on... Well, we've got a few minutes left, but I want to be out of here for 10. We'll be back in half an hour on TikTok with none other than cryptonews talking more about, you know, what's going on in terms of blockchain, maybe some airdrop news. We'll get into kind of a little bit more. Hopefully, we'll have Xian as well from Matic with us. That would be pretty cool. And anyone else that wants to join us, I'm happy to take... Again, it's the 2-Bit Crypto Show with guests. So... If anyone wants to come up and have a view or, you know, say hello, then you are more than welcome to in half an hour. That's going to be pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Dropped your follow. Hey, Aaron, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Still CA? Yeah, I still think AVAX, but I'm probably a little bit higher than that, personally. Berry sentiment makes me laugh, bros. Lots of interesting thoughts in this chat tonight. Big Al's bullish. Got to be bullish, Al. Got to be bullish. ADA is great. I mean... I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for that stablecoin integration on Cardano, and it's retesting some key levels right now. I'm still waiting for a stablecoin news for Cardano. If they don't get it, then I don't know if it does anything big. At this phase of the market, is it safe to focus on stablecoins and payment rails? I will let you decide on that, but that's certainly not what I'm looking at. I'm thinking about dropping 100,000 on Pump Fund. Well, Pump Fund's interesting. Pump Fund's interesting. Don't forget they're buying back like crazies. The only thing I would say with Pump Fund is it's pumping. And actually has now gone from 2635 to 4007. Longer term, this one could be pretty bull, but it's up 53% since the end of August. So it is moving. It is moving. And actually, local high, it's going to break pretty soon. In the last month, it's up 37%. 3 months, 300%. Obviously, it didn't, it's pumped in July, but yeah, I mean, I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment. And if they start rev sharing, I mean, holy shit, it's over. Pump Fund could be crazy. It is, I mean, Bonk Fund's starting to come back a little bit, but yeah, the actual, numbers coming out of Pump Fund are pretty crazy. So yeah, get excited about it. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show. Obviously, we're back in half an hour on TikTok. So if you are here, do hit me a follow, and then we'll be back live talking all things cryptocurrency as always. And likewise on YouTube, we're going to be back 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. That's 9 p.m. in the UK. Set your alarm clock. It's going to be bullish. Until then, though, look out for some more content coming out on the channel as always. Don't forget, drop a comment, hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we really would appreciate it. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time out to come and hang out with me. Right. Fingers crossed, we'll catch you guys on TikTok in 30 minutes. Set your alarm clocks. As always, it's going to be bullish. Until tomorrow, thanks as always. See you soon.